India Muslim Personal Law Board has released a statement on the Gyanvapi dispute. The board has said, and I quote, Muslims cannot tolerate desecration of masjid. Sectarian forces are hell-bent on lawlessness and courts are also disappointing the oppressed. The hate-mongering forces are spreading false propaganda and targeting Muslim holy places with full force. The central government and state governments, which have a constitutional responsibility to enforce the constitution and law, political parties that call themselves secular and just are silent on this issue. The board has constituted a legal committee to look into 1991 Act on Places of Worship and decision regarding Babri Masjid to present the case effectively, unquote. All right, we're getting you the latest breaking news coming in on this story. At the moment, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board releasing a statement right there on the Gyanvapi dispute. What is interesting about this statement, and I'm going to bring you a few highlights at the moment, is that they have gone ahead and said in that statement that they've constituted a legal committee to look into the 1991 Act on Places of Worship and the decision regarding Babri Masjid to present their side of the case effectively. In fact, they've taken on the BJP, they've taken on political parties over there, they've taken on the central government and state government, saying that they have a constitutional responsibility to enforce the constitution and the law. And the political parties, they've said that they call themselves secular, are also just silent on the issue. So they've really hit out right there. In fact, even one of the points mentioned in that particular statement talks about the hate-mongering forces that are spreading false propaganda and targeting Muslim holy places with full force in their statement. They've mentioned this. They've also said that the Muslims cannot tolerate the desecration of masjid, and sectarian forces are hell-bent on lawlessness and courts are also disappointing the oppressed. Let me just read the entire statement out for you once more. For our viewers who have just tuned in, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board has released a statement on the Gyanvapi dispute. The statement says, and I quote, Muslims cannot tolerate desecration of masjid. Sectarian forces are hell-bent on lawlessness and courts are also disappointing the oppressed. The hate-mongering forces are spreading false propaganda and targeting Muslim holy places with full force. The central government and state governments, which have a constitutional responsibility to enforce the constitution and the law, political parties that call themselves secular and just, are also silent on the issue. The board has constituted a legal committee to look into the 1991 Act on Places of Worship and the decision regarding Babri Masjid and present the case effectively, unquote. So that's the latest coming in terms of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board issuing this particular statement. We're getting you, in fact, the visuals on your screens right now are of the videos that have emerged after the survey that was conducting. A big shivling was found right there, and that is also very controversial at this point of time. So there's a lot of political ticking that is taking place on the back of this story, and we've been updating you on the latest details. My colleague Nabila Jamal now joins us from the newsroom. Nabila, I believe you've got the copy of this statement that has come out from the All India Muslim Personal Law Board. I'm throwing straight across to you to get us all the highlights.
Right, Chaiti, as expected, the All India Muslim Law Board held a huge meeting which was on Zoom call, where they had all members of the committee who joined in on Zoom, where they wanted to have this urgent meeting to discuss on the way, according to them, Muslims are being marginalized in the country because of the Gyanvapi Mosque controversy. This is in the backdrop of that. They call this unfair and have now given an open declaration that they will not allow for any other mosque henceforth to be touched. This is the All India Muslim Law Board who've got together together, taken stock, according to them, of the kind of hate crimes that are happening against Muslims in the country and this hate campaign that they blame the BJP of. They've now come together to say that they will stand by the Indian Muslims and will ensure that no mosque henceforth will be touched. Again, this is in the backdrop of a Gyanvapi Mosque survey that was ordered by the Varanasi court, which the All India Muslim Law Board has deemed as unfair and illegal. We are, of course, citing the Places of Worship Act 91, which asks for the religious character of any place of worship to be retained post-independence, post-1947. So, citing this law, the All India Muslim Law Board has said that the Varanasi court asking for a survey into the Gyanvapi Mosque was indeed illegal and unfair. And to that they say, going by the increased hate crimes and this kind of hate campaign against Muslims, trying to portray a villainized image of Indian Muslims, we are not going to allow for one more mosque to be touched. Remember, this comes also in the backdrop of the Supreme Court now taking up this matter and will now be reviewing, if at all, the survey findings of this Gyanvapi Mosque survey that was carried out by the committee, whether the findings should be released and made public, and then what next? This is a long-standing debate and it will continue, but it appears that the All India Muslim Law Board has now come together and are standing as one unit to try and protect the Muslims as they believe they're being marginalized.